From Matthew's Gospel. When Jesus saw the crowds, he felt sorry for them because they were harassed and dejected, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is rich, but the labourers are few. So ask the Lord of the harvest to send labourers to his harvest." He summoned the 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits, with power to cast them out and cure all kinds of diseases and sicknesses. These are the name of the 12 apostles. First Simon, who is called Peter, and his brother Andrew, James the son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the zealot, and Judas Iscariot, the one who was to betray him. These 12 Jesus sent out, instructing them as follows: "Do not turn your steps to pagan territory, and do not enter any Samaritan town. Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and as you go, proclaim that the kingdom of heaven is close at hand. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, cast out devils. You receive without charge, give without charge." And so we hear our reflection for the day. Gaze on the harassed and helpless, the dislocated and the forgotten of our society. Like commuters without a train, milling around on the platform, tired after a long day standing on their feet, serving in a shop for little more than a minimum wage. Longing to get home for a refreshing shower, a warm meal, and the pleasure of the company of their nearest and dearest. But a signal failure has stopped all the trains, and they must wait. How long they do not know, but they have little hope. They study the display board, praying that it will announce their train, but all it says is delayed. They long for an announcement that will say all has been put right, and they fear the dreaded sign, replacement bus service. Consider the meaning of the word compassion. It's made up of com, meaning with, and passion, which derives from the Latin to suffer. The dictionary definition is a pity inclining one to help or to be merciful. It's important that we take note of the whole of this definition. Jesus does not just pity, he helped. We never read a gospel story that says Jesus met a beggar and says, "What a pity," before walking by, or that they brought a sick woman to Jesus and he wished her well. His heart was softened by the other's pain, and therefore he healed all who came to him. The gospel and last week's continue to show how Jesus cured every disease and every sickness because of his compassion. But the importance of this gospel is that after the long list of healing and miracles, Jesus now insists that with compassion comes responsibility, for we must be sent out as disciples to deliver the prescription for the cure. Another way of looking at it is that we must become the bridge over which Jesus' mercy can reach out to them. But this is not a toll bridge in which the needy must pay to cross. If we act with compassion, we act without expectation of any return or reward for ourselves. As Jesus reminds us why this must be. Freely you have received, freely give. True compassion does not count the cost, but acts spontaneously through the love for others. And contemplate. Contemplate God's compassion for us, for while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. This was giving without counting the cost, taken to extremes. Jesus laid himself down and became the bridge between our sinfulness and our Father's everlasting mercy. To quote that well-known song, he became a bridge over troubled water. Compassionate Father, though I suffer, I will persevere, and through perseverance my character will grow. Shape me into readiness to work in your world, to bring hope to the harassed and to the helpless among those I will meet this coming week. Amen. continue in prayer. We pray for our prophetic leaders in our churches, that like Nathan, they may have the courage to confront the sinful with the truth of their condition and compassion to offer them the forgiveness of the Lord. Lord, in your mercy. We pray for the shepherds of the nations, that God, who claims all the earth as his own, may direct them in the paths of justice, of life and peace. Lord, in your mercy. We pray for the apostles of our own day, sent by the compassion of Christ into the harvest, that God may raise up many new labourers to help them and keep them strong in their ministry. Lord, in your mercy. We pray for those who have received the love of God without cost, being justified by the blood of Christ. They may give without cost and without stint to all who are troubled and abandoned in life. Lord, in your mercy. We pray for those who feel enslaved to suffering and feel far from God, that the Lord, who released the Israelites from the slavery of Egypt, may bear these little ones up on eagle's wings and bring them to himself in joy and grace. Lord, in your mercy. We pray for our faithful departed ones, that as they have been reconciled by God by the death of his Son, they may now be saved by his life and brought into the joy of paradise. Lord, in your mercy. In a moment of silence, we bring before God our own prayers, for ourselves, for our nearest and our dearest, for those who are far from us, and for those for whom we've been asked to pray for. Lord, in your mercy. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen.